Hello, everyone. This is horror author James Hershey Jr. from the Staring to the Abyss radio show. And today's article is from scienceandspace.com. It was published on Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019. And the title of this article is After Death, You're Aware That You've Died, Scientists Say. Death just became even more scary. Scientists say people are aware they're dead because their consciousness continues to work after the body has stopped showing signs of life. That means that, theoretically, someone may even hear their own death being announced by medics. The claim was made by Dr. Sam Parnia, Director of Critical Care and Resuscitation Research at NYU Langone School of Medicine in New York City. He and his team are looking at people who suffered cardiac arrest, technically died, but were later revived. It's the largest study of its type ever carried out. Some of those studied say they had awareness of full conversations and seeing things that were going on around them, even after they were pronounced dead. These accounts were then verified by the medical and nursing staff who were present at the time. Death is defined as the point at which the heart no longer beats and blood flow to the brain is cut off. Dr. Sam Parnia said, "Technically, that's how you get the time of death. It's all based on the moment when the heart stops. Once that happens, blood no longer circulates to the brain, which means brain function halts almost instantaneously. You lose all your brainstem reflexes, your gag reflex, your pupil reflex, all that is gone. However, there's evidence to suggest that there's a burst of brain energy as someone dies. In 2013, researchers at the University of Michigan looked at the electrical signals inside the brains of 9 anesthetized rats having an induced heart attack. They saw activity patterns which are linked to a hyper-alerted state in the brief period after clinical death." Dr. Parnia said, "In the same way that a group of researchers might be studying the qualitative nature of the human experience of love, for instance, we're trying to understand the exact features that people experience when they go through death, because we understand that this is going to reflect the universal experience we're all going to have when we die." And that is the end of the article. This one was a short one, but I think a profound one, because if these doctors are right and these scientists are correct, that means that your consciousness continues after you die. Now, we did a show on Staring about another study that was done. I believe the study I'm getting ready to tell you about was done at Oxford. And they said that they can prove the existence of a soul and even the existence of ghosts. And they believe that, much like these gentlemen do, that your consciousness or your soul, your personality, whatever you want to call it, continues on after you die. So there is death, but that's not the end. You continue on in a spiritual form. And this is another one of those articles done by scientists here that is kind of backing up that idea. It's not going as far as to say that there's a soul and a ghost and all that, but in a way they kind of are, because they're saying that after death your consciousness continues. Now, they don't specify exactly how long your consciousness continues. In the other article, the one about the soul, those scientists say that they believe that your soul, or your consciousness, as these doctors are calling it, goes on forever. It never dies, it's infinite. So I thought that was really, really interesting that here we have another article that's seeming to, in a way, back up what they found in that study. So let me know down in the comments what you think. For me, this is kind of also, if you think about it from another way, take the whole religious aspect out of it, take the idea of that it's kind of cool that you're not dead when you're dead, that you continue on. Take that out of it for a second and just think about that moment after you die. Something happened to you, whether it be an auto accident or a shooting, or maybe you're having a heart attack, or maybe you just had cancer or something like that, and it's been a long, slow process. But everything went wrong somehow, and you are now at death's door. Now, if you're still conscious during that time period, you're freaking out because you're getting ready to die. And then all of a sudden, the doctors pronounce you dead and they begin to stop treatment. And they're having their little conversation and doing all the things they do when you die. But you're not gone. You're still there. You're still aware of what's going on. That would be extremely terrifying if you really think about it, at least for the first few moments. Because I'm sure after a few minutes it'd be not so scary anymore because you'd be like, okay, I'm still here, so, what's the big deal? But for them first couple seconds afterwards, when they're talking about you being dead, and then you don't actually realize that you're dead yet, that hasn't really dawned on you, that would be terrifying. Because in your mind, you're going to be thinking, oh my God, you got to do something. Save me. Don't stop working on me. I'm not gone yet. I'm right here. Why can't you hear me? Fascinating. I'd make a really cool idea for a book or a movie. Maybe I'll write that one day. But anyway, down in the comments, let me know what you think of the article, and let me know what you think of that whole idea of what it would be like right after you die and you're still there. You're still aware of what's going on. Do you think you'd freak out in that moment? Do you think that it would be confusing and scary? And then what would you do with eternity? I mean, if the other scientists are correct and your consciousness continues on forever, that means you're going to be here a long, long time in spirit form. So what are your plans? What would you do with eternity as a spirit? Are there any rules? Are you free to go wherever you want, or do you have to stay where you died, or do you have to stay in your own house? How does it work? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments to all those questions, any theories you might have. Because in reality, nobody really knows. I mean, we talk to ghosts. When you go out and do a hunt or do a paranormal investigation, you get to communicate with these people sometimes, but I've never really gotten a rundown of what the rules are because they don't really cooperate sometimes and tell you exactly what you want to hear. So as I said, let me know what you think. And as always, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. And until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you. And so do I. Bye-bye.